Stefon Smoothie Harkins, Waffle Sports 1080, man. What you eating there, man? Rachel's?
Nah, heck no. I had some healthy chips. Healthy choice. I don't love them, actually.
It's just a healthy choice, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Speaking of the healthy choices, man, you've embraced this team. I see you on the sidelines, y'all dancing at practice, man. You're dancing in the games. It's just that dog mentality. How much have you got attached to this team right away, man?
Ever since the Zoom meetings, we had those Zoom calls in the off season and kind of growing to get to know guys throughout those calls. And, we had like a certain amount of talks going into training camp where we like learned a lot about each other, just as the receiver room in specific. And guys talked a little bit about their story, where they came from, their background, and you learn about a guy personally. So that's where you kind of gain the most respect from outside of football. Then you see a guy out there and put a lot of time and effort into their craft, and then that just builds on it in the foundation of a bond and a brotherhood. So it kind of started in there, really.
Right. Speaking of that bond and that brotherhood, we know you got a lot of names for, AKA Fatty, AKA Joshy Boucher. Saturday, I don't know if you got the news before then. How much did you want to win this game Saturday for Josh?
I actually didn't know until after the game, and it was kind of tough because we all dealt with loss. Except for the people that have, I've dealt with loss and to the utmost, and I felt for him after the game because people didn't know about it. Not too many people knew about it, and he's one of the guys that we call our leaders. He leads us, and in a moment like that, damn sure he probably wasn't in the best place, but he put his best foot forward that day on game day, and you got to respect that as a man, as a teammate, as a brother, and you just got to let him know that you're behind him, you here for him, not much we can do, but we can be for him, we can be here for him, and if he needs anything, that's why I told him, if you need anything from me, I got you, but, we just got a lot of respect and love.
Right. And one more, if I could. I know you didn't really get the opportunity to get that full experience of Bill's Mafia, but to see how Bill's Mafia just came out and just supported him, I mean, what's your take on the fans out there? What was your reaction?
One of a kind, nothing else to describe it. What they do as far as like community-wise and how they support us as a family, as a real family, it's amazing. I really look forward to it. I play for an audience of one, that being God, but I'm gonna talk to God. I would love to have him be that second audience, be out there too, because I've heard nothing but good things about him, and they continue to show their support on and off the field, and I just want to be a part of it. I'm not really all the way Bill's Mafia, I guess, because I haven't spent that much time with him in the stadium. So hopefully soon I can make that family thing work.
You always Bill's Mafia, and
Thanks, God.
Rachel's is that healthy choice. Good luck with
Thank you.
Hey, Stefon, John Worrell with the Associated Press. How you doing?
How you doing, big guy?
Good. Just not knowing as this game was going on and Josh is, just going lights out. I mean, how much more do you respect what he was able to do to compartmentalize his emotions and to go out and produce a performance such as that, given the grief he must have been feeling inside?
He's a true leader. I mean, I would say, he's everything that you would ever want in a quarterback, as far as like leading the guy, leading his troops. You try not to let things in your personal life play a huge part into your football life because you don't want it to throw you off. And he took a moment to put his feelings to the side and put his team first, and you gotta respect him. You gotta love him for that because not a lot of guys could have done that. A lot of guys might have needed a game off or needed a break, and he knew that his team was counting on him. He knew that. Hopefully, he knew that that we needed him, and they probably would have wanted him to play. Out of love, his love for the game, his passion for the game, and he stepped up for us in a huge moment. It's bigger than football, obviously, and to let a guy know that you're behind him is more important, and he laying it on the line for us.
Last thing, well, a win like that, and in Buffalo, wins like that haven't come very often in the 20 years that I've been here. You've been on the outside, but I mean, is it time to start taking this team seriously?
A win like that, I would say, going into the week, we went in with a mindset that we're trying to become 1-0. We do that every week. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But we come home with the same mindset, the same agenda. Coach McDermott drives home the same key things to win games, each and every game. And we're not going to change. As far as like taking us serious or not, hopefully you don't, because, as far as like being a sleeper team is always good, being an underdog. I feel like this makeup of a team is built off of underdogs, built off of guys who are late round guys or guys who were counted out. And it's kind of fits that mode of our team and keeps us motivated, keeps a chip on our shoulder. And no matter kind of where everybody else gauge us, we kind of block out the noise anyway. So rather if they pay us no mind or pay us a lot of mind, we just going to drive home those same key values of how to win games and how to stay as a team.
Thanks, Stefon.
No doubt.
Hey, Steph, I know all of us or many of us have checked in on where your chemistry is at with Josh and other players throughout the year, but now entering week 10, I guess, what have you done to keep up those relationships in order to improve chemistry, just knowing what the off season wasn't in terms of being in person with people?
Yeah, we went into the season with a mindset of kind of like doing everything that we can to gel as far as like learning about one another. On and off the field, everybody knows Josh to be a jokester. He's definitely a jokester. So spending that time with him on the field, whether we're playing around or running routes or whatever, it's heavily invested. It's intentional. And I do everything like I mean it. So probably like spending that time with him and getting to know him, even as the recent events, I just got more love and more respect for him. He's becoming more of a brother than anything at this point. And he's never made an excuse, not one time. He didn't use, we didn't have an off season. We didn't have that much time. He used the time that he was allowed, and he made it work. So now that we're kind of inching towards more than the halfway point, we just want to continue to excel and continue to, play some good football around this time. So that's all.
Thanks, Steph.
No doubt.
Hey, Steph, Matt Bovee here. Hope you're doing well.
I'm all right.
You're all right? It's better than bad, I guess. Hey, I just asked Josh Allen how he has developed since he started playing with you. And I guess the counterpoint is, how have you developed maybe since you came to Buffalo in your first year in these first 9 games?
As far as like my maturation process, I feel like I learned so much from my previous situation that I kind of carried it over, trying to turn over a new leaf and really handle things a lot differently than I did before. I played with a lot of quarterbacks. I played on one team for a long time and having to adjust and kind of applied all those things that I learned in my past situation to this current one. Whether it's communication skills and whether it's learning curve, whether it's learning a new offense, learning who to lean on, who to learn the most from, and pushing and thriving from a standpoint of a team aspect, trying to push my quarterback, trying to keep him positive at all times, always taking the blame because I never think he's wrong. He can't do no wrong. So for me, I'm just always trying to be there for him, and I apply those old things that I learned into my new situation to make me a better person and a better player.
Anybody can go on like Google and type in your name and see your stat line from this year. But and obviously that speaks for itself. But with all the other stuff, with coming to a new city, into this, time in the country and everything that's going on, has this gone better than maybe you anticipated?
I kind of didn't go in with any preconceived notions on how the season was going to go or what I was going to do. I put a lot of time in the off season as far as like learning the playbook, so I can go in hitting the ground running, and I'm not learning as much. I'm trying to play as fast as I can, as soon as I can. And it damn sure was a learning curve still. Still had to adjust with everything that was going on. But like I said earlier, like Josh didn't make any excuses, and I damn sure will never make an excuse for myself. I just was trying to get better each and every day. I'm still grinding at it, still learning each and every day how to get better, ways to be better for my guys. And I'm going to continue to do that. Whatever it calls for, the job calls for, I'm going to do it. I feel I consider one of myself as a leader on this team in a short span of time, and I'm going to continue to do my job.
Thanks, man. Hope you have a great rest of the day.
Hey, Stefon. I was going to say, how are you doing? But you're doing all right. So
I'm all right. Thank you.
Larry Fitzgerald, I know a lot of guys, especially in particular at the wide receiver position, look at him as almost like the Godfather kind of guy. Is he
100%.
a guy that you've had a chance to have a relationship with at all, or have you kind of watched him from afar and thought, man, that's the way to do it?
Well, he's definitely, if you want an example, he's the example. You know, I knew a little bit about Larry just because, you know, he was in Minnesota. He's from Minnesota, I think. He was a ball boy from Minnesota, kind of knew a little bit about his story. And it's crazy. So to see him excel in the league, you know, from a young age, we've been watching Larry Fitzgerald for the longest, the Fitzgerald, Super Bowl, stuff like that. So the amount of respect that he gets is well deserved, and that's just not just on the field but off the field. You know, he's a great person. He's a good guy. And he can ball. He still can ball. You know, still got a lot of respect for him out there. He still does everything, and he shows you how to be an NFL receiver. I think he should write like a little handbook or a little like something, how to be a receiver for dummies, because he's done a great job. He's done a great job up to this point. Hopefully he has a longer career. I think he could play for 40 years if he really tried, because he does just a great job. But a lot of respect for him, man. I love these Larry Fitzgerald.
Speaking of guys who could probably write a handbook on the position they play, Patrick Peterson's been at it for a while and has been one of the best in the league. Yet, it still seems like you get these young guys that come in and he gets kind of glossed over. I don't know how that happens, but how high of a level is he still playing at?
That's what happens when you've been good for so long. You know, people are like, all right, well, they kind of expect you to be good, and he's damn sure been playing at a high level since he came in the league, and it's like you know, I guess the new and shiny toys come in every year. You speak so highly of them, you want them to be great. But it's been guys that's been in this league for a long time that's been putting it on display. And I got nothing but respect for him. I've been seeing him since I got in the league. So as far as like his success and how good of a player he is, he's the same guy. He still can play some ball as well. So people tend to forget that when you've been good for so long, or great for so long for that matter. But that's how it is. You know how football is. They like the new guys.
Always. All right. I appreciate it, Stefon.
No doubt.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Stefon, how's it going, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, big guy.
Look, that you spoke a little earlier that this team really thrives on being the underdog, having a chip on their shoulder. But how much does doubt motivate you? Like, for example, when you and DeAndre were traded a couple hours apart, it seemed like the narrative was, you know, that's a seamless fit for Hopkins in Arizona, but Diggs might struggle in a run-heavy offense. He's going to ask for a trade, blah, 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 blah. How much does that kind of doubt motivate you?
Well, it was like, I guess when I first got traded, there was so many words about I wasn't going to like it here. I wasn't going to do X, Y, Z. I don't know. I kind of like ignored a lot of it because people who know football and know the game, or even know me on a personal level, I embrace all my challenges. I meet them head on. I don't shy away. I don't dodge. And I love it. You know, as far as like people doubt me, people have been doubting me for a very long time, man. You know, it's not going to stop no time soon. So I just kind of anticipated, like, I'm going to do my job. You know, I went into this game, this new year, just as far as like trying to be the best player, best teammate. And it's been working out. So I'm going to continue to try to do that, work as hard as I can, and keep putting my best foot forward. But as far as like people doubt me, people have been doubting me for a very long time. I kind of just, you know, relish in the moment of, you know, continue to grind and continue to take those steps, build it brick by brick, and let the results be what they be. You know, let the chips fall where they lay. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be naysayers in anything that you're going to do. But for me, I'm just trying to be the best me.
I'd say, I mean, leading the league in receiving yards, it's working out pretty well so far. Just to follow up real quick, though, do you feel any kind of bond with Nuke Hopkins just because y'all were such big stories this offseason? And like I said, traded, I mean, a couple hours apart on the same day?
Yeah, not necessarily a bond, but I've been watching Hop for a long time. He's damn sure not like any of the other receivers, because we don't really have a similar body type or anything. But one thing I can say is he gonna catch the ball. He got great hands, and he's fast. He can do pretty much everything. So as far as like my respect for his game is at the utmost, because he can play at a high level. He's been playing at a high level, and he got some of the best hands in the league. You gotta give him that. I'm pretty sure he's gonna continue to make plays for years to come. So for me, I don't really have no specific bond, but as far as like respecting his game, 100%.
All right, man. I appreciate your time as always.
No doubt.
Hey, Stefon, it's Sal here. Good to see you, buddy.
What's up, big guy? How you doing?
I'm good. I was going to ask you if you had anything going on in the locker room with Ohio State guys, with Maryland playing them this week, but I just realized there's no Buckeyes on the roster this year.
Yeah, not this year. I remember last year we had some guys that they used to always come to see me, try to get me to bet them that had to wear their clothes and all that. But
Your Terps are playing well, though, man. Your Terps are playing well right now.
That's Mike Locksley, man. Mike Locksley, he was my guy. He recruited me. He does some great things. He's a great offensive mind. He's a great head coach. I really I love him, man. That's my guy.
Hey, I want to ask you about your expectations when the trade went down. You came here, not to revisit the whole situation, but you're leading the league in receptions and receiving yards. Are you have you exceeded what you thought could happen here in Buffalo, or is this kind of what you thought might happen?
I feel like what are we 7-2?
Yeah,
like we a little bit past the halfway point. I don't really do the like looking too far ahead, far like currently where I stand and all that. That shit don't really matter because we got a long season ahead of us. For me, it's not really too much of a personal goal for me. My personal goal is winning at a high level and doing everything I can for my team. So, however everything else figures itself out, that's beyond me. But as far as like anticipating everything, the good and the bad, I just roll with the punches. You know, we're gonna have some good games, we're gonna have some bad games. I'm gonna just try to contribute to my team, whichever way I can and whatever way they need me to. So for me, I ain't really concerned too much about it. I want to win.
And then lastly, your route running, we've all talked about it. We've all seen it. It's so amazing. Some of the things you can do.
Halfway decent.
Yeah. Do you, is there ever, what's the balance you have to strike to make sure that you're still, kind of getting where you're supposed to be and you're on the same page with Josh, but also making sure you do kind of some unique things to get open?
Yeah. It's kind of like you do the first 4 or 5 games, kind of learning to play with Josh is he can extend a lot of plays and as far as like getting open and the timing of getting open is always crucial. But when you have a mobile quarterback, you got a guy that with a strong arm, which Josh Allen has an extremely strong arm. I tell him take a little bit off his ball sometimes. He might hurt my chest a little bit throwing it too hard. But it's working on in tandem. You kind of get a little bit more comfortable with more time being spent. You might know you have a little bit more time to work on this route, and he gonna hang on the back foot a little bit. He'll wait for me on certain occasions. So as far as like finding that medius between you and the quarterback, I'm not really doing anything special. It's him. He's moving around. He's putting the ball in a great spot, and I'm just trying to make a play for him.
Thanks, Stefon. By the way, you're really good at this stuff on here. I enjoy talking to you.
Oh, thanks, big guy. Appreciate you.
Hey, Stefon, Jay with the Buffalo News. I think I got the last one here for you. So I have to know, did you know last week on your cleats that Rick James was from Buffalo before you went with those?
Okay. You want to hear something crazy? I found that out. I was at the dentist. I had a root canal. I was getting a cap on. And he was like, did you know Rick James was from Buffalo? And I said, no, I did not. Boom. Guess what? Cleat idea. Boom. Hit my guy. I got cleat idea for next week. And
yeah.
It was Rick James.
I wanted to ask you about that, though, because, I think fans are having a lot of fun seeing what you're going to do each week with your cleats. How do you come up with them? And when did that kind of become something for you that you wanted to do it each week? You know what I mean?
It's been going on for a couple of years now. I can't give you all the secret sauce to the recipe, but I can tell you, I try to do it based on the city that we're in or the team that we're playing. So if we were in New York, like last year, I did Coming to America. It's a movie that was supposed to be in New York. We played New York. So it kind of goes hand in hand that way. But we played at home, and I was trying to think of something, and Rick James was perfect. So that's all.
Yeah. Cole, I talked to Cole earlier, and he said that you're a big believer in if you look good, you play good. Is that describe you?
100%. Cole be swagging, but I be trying to tell him like I gotta look how I want to look in order to feel good so I can play well. He be swagging too. But shout outs to Cole on always being open. I want you guys to never forget that. Cole Beasley, you watch the tape, he's always open.
Do you is fashion something that you've taken like an interest in? Because you seem like that's something that you've got like a passion for. Is that fair to say?
That's what I do when I got some free time. When I'm not all about football, I like to dive in a little bit. But I'm at work right now. We can talk about that on our own time.
All right, man. Well, hey, I'm looking forward to the cleats this week, man. I appreciate it.
You. Thanks, big guy.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.